sorry. I don't have any heartstrings left for you to tug on. You want compassion? Move on. You want fair? Tough shit. Time's wasting. Pick your side, Krista. Aaron, or the bitch I'm gonna kill.
Hola, baby. It's your boy, the Hokage of the village heading the leads, the commander of the scout regiment, the king of the pirates, the commissioner of the CCG, the principal of the Hero Academy, the captain commander of the Gautier 13, the general of the Red Ribbon Army. It's Nate Jackson, that Picasso, Kakashi Hatsuke, Jiraiya Sensei, Vince Smoke, Sanji, and it's another episode of the Red Ribbon Army. And today, we're talking about Attack on Titan. Attack on goddamn Titan. Well, people were saying probably one of the greatest anime ever. But you know, niggas say that after every anime season ends. About any anime ever. They said that shit about My Hero, but it's actually up there. I got a guest with me today, man. He's been on here before a few times. Won the legendary signing. My Manga Hugo.
Yeah, you know, I'm back like cook crack, baby. Yeah, son, back on top, you know what I'm saying? But with the big Brody, we finna talk about Attack on Titan, baby.
Attack on Titan, son. Alright. So it's a little bit since the third season ended. That we're recording now. We had to recap on everything, watch a few episodes again, and son, this third season took this show to the next level. I don't even want to say next level because this show started off on the next level. And I want to start with the start of the show because, low-key, if you're at the same point we are, which you should be if you listen to this episode, you know this show got turned on its fucking head just now. We just realized that the show that we've been watching for the past 3 seasons is really just the prelude to the real fucking show. So it's kind of like 2 shows going on here, and I want to go through the first one first, but fuck that shit, nigga. We can't talk about... We can't start here and not talk about the crazy shit that just happened.
It's levels of shit that just happened, bro.
So, alright. So let's start with the shit that we just learned about the world. For the longest time, we've thought that... Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go into one of the first reasons why I love Attack on Titan so much. If you know me, man... I love a good underdog story. I really do. There's something about an underdog that just makes me just want to fucking, you know what I mean, just get hype, you know what I mean? That's the shit I can really rally behind. And that's the reason why I love Naruto and I follow Naruto so far. It's the reason why I fell in love with One Piece in the pre-time skip because, you know, in pre-time skip, it was just like 5 or 6 random people declaring war on the world government. I fuck with that shit. And Attack on Titan season 1 and 2 is the ultimate underdog story because it's just 3 or 4 miles long of land of the only people left in the world, and the rest of the world, as far as we thought, is all these big ass man-eating animals. It don't get more underdog than that.
Back against the wall.
Back against the wall, son. And then alright, I said we was gonna start with season 3, but now we're at season 1. So we're in this position where humanity is at its like fucking last legs. We've been behind these walls. Nobody knows why these walls were here. As far as in the history that we know goes back, it's just 100 years back. And it's just a select group of people, maybe a few thousand people that's just alive. Most people are just like, alright, it's probably gonna end soon. I'm just gonna enjoy my life within the walls and not think about the next generations, just like everybody's denying global warming is doing. And they're like, alright, I'll just pretend like this is regular life until a real nigga like Aaron that made him mad. Because all he saw was fucking a future, son. He's the only one looking ahead, really, as far as he knows. Everybody's all around, like, acting like shit's sweet. No, we gotta go figure out if we can better shit. And that's what the Scout Regiment was doing, and that's why that resonated with him so hard. That's really why, as an audience for season 1, we resonated with Aaron so hard, too. Because, like I said, man, you gotta support a nigga with that type of drive when everybody around him has no fucking drive at all.
That's hard to do, especially in the situation that they were in. Like, everything that you know is everybody has basically accepted death, and you really have to pull yourself and visualize a future that everybody else can't see. And nobody's going to believe you, and you really have no support. So to bring that into fruition all by yourself, you know what I'm saying, that takes willpower. That takes a different type of dude. So,
or to even say that you're going to, let alone not doing this. Doing it alone is a huge task. Even saying that you're going to do it and honestly believing it is a huge deal in these type of circumstances. This is not like these titans are 50 meters tall, which in real people's heights like 150 feet. That's what the fuck is a person going to do against that? What are people gonna do against that? It's just people who are fighting with swords. My nigga, swords. These are giants.
Me personally, I would have gave in. I would have
gave in.
Fuck that. I'm not messing with that.
I'm not gonna, especially since we saw, son, everybody who's within the outer walls saw every time the niggas who were actually going out and trying to like figure out a way to, like, I don't know, get some land back or make any type of progress towards not being wiped extinct. We saw them leave the walls and just come back with way less people than they're left with. People are the first scene when everybody's coming back for the first time, and Aaron's a kid watching everybody come back. We didn't see it from that perspective until we got our Shottis flashback from season 3. But one of the moms of one of the scout regiment rookies ran up to Erevan after one of his explorations, and he was talking, not Erevan, Shottis, because Shottis was the commander. Ran up to Shottis after one of his explorations, saying like, "Where's my son at, man? We've been excited to see him. He's probably gonna be so happy when on his first whatever. I cooked his favorite meal, all of that." And this nigga Shottis hands her son's arm.
Different. That's
all he had left. That's all he could bring back.
Like, bro.
It's the arm of your loved one. Or the arm of it's her son. It's her son, bro.
Imagine
it's her world.
Back your son's arm. Like,
and on top of that, the scout regiment has been there for as far as we know, the whole 100 years that these walls have been there, and they have nothing to show for it. From the villagers and from the citizens' perspective, they're just going outside the walls, getting eaten, and coming back with nothing. And they're not wrong. The scout regiment has done nothing until season 3.
Bullshit.
They've had no progress, and how could they given these circumstances? Like I said before, this is the ultimate underdog story. You really fucking can't, and that's why it takes a real type of nigga to look at that and still say those people are right, and we have to fight. No matter how hopeless it looks, we have to fight, and that's why we resonate with Eren so hard, and that's why, son, I don't know. Where does Eren rank in your main characters?
Me, I wouldn't put him so high. Personally, especially with the whole little situation last season where he just turned to an instant vent.
He was a bitch for a long time.
I ain't gonna lie.
A good middle series.
He lost a lot of points when he went through his little bitch phase.
I hear you.
I would put him 15, top 15, maybe top 20 easy. That may be too, I don't know if that's too low for a lot of people, but top 15 for sure.
It's a good thing you said that, because like I'm saying, Eren has a lot of redeemable qualities that make him a great main character, but at the same time, he has a lot of shit. He has a lot of bullshit to his character too, which I like, because for the longest time, anime has just given their main characters all redeemable characteristics. And if people treat him as if his characteristics aren't as redeemable as they are, for example, I'm gonna say Naruto, they make sure they frame it to the audience that this character is just being misunderstood.
Right.
Like, we know that everybody around Naruto always thought he was an asshole, and he was doing asshole shit. But the anime made sure to give the audience the perspective to say, like, all of his negative characteristics are just him being misunderstood.
Right.
And that's cool, and it's fun to follow and everything, and makes people like his character. But it's not real. And I love the reality of Attack on Titan. That's what it makes it hit home more. Like, these characters, there's no character in here that's not flawed.
Right.
And that's why I love so much.
And see, with you saying that, I'm interested in seeing where Eren goes from here, because technically he's still in his beginning phases.
Yes.
Of his development. So especially with him going through his bitch phase, and now with him learning more about his father, I think he's going to develop into a total badass, bro. And I'm like,
love that.
That will put him top 10, top 7 range once they elaborate more and we get some more episodes on.
I love that you can tell that's coming too.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it now, and I'm thinking about the things that Attack on Titan did right that so many other shows did wrong. And I think what I just said about giving every character not reasonable flaws, but realistic flaws. Like, there can be huge flaws for people, but let's be honest, most people have huge flaws in their mentality,
right,
coming from whatever upbringing they're coming from. And that's the reason why at the end of season 3 we still feel like Eren can't do this by himself. It's impossible to. At the end of the day, Eren's not smart. He's not. Most of the shit, he's extremely driven. And his drive is necessary to push the team forward, but so are all the other characteristics from everybody else on the team. so the audience knows like nothing can happen without this being a team effort. And that's where I'm gonna go back to my example of Naruto, when they gave Naruto all of their redeeming factors. They introduced Naruto in the first part of Naruto as like, they introduced all the teams as the Konoha 11 and everything. Near the end of Shippuden, none of them were useful except for Naruto and Sasuke, and they all kind of like, the anime didn't know what to do with the rest of them. Like they built, that's what, one of the biggest complaints that people have about Naruto is the waste of Rock Lee, the waste of Neji, and the waste of Gaara. Because they're introduced so fucking great, and we would love to see their progression and see them actually become something, but they kind of just fell on the wayside because at the end of the day, son, we saw the Fourth Ninja War. Naruto and Sasuke did it by themselves.
Easily.
You can't, there's nothing, Eren can't do this by himself. He can't. Like I said before, he's not smart enough. Usually the decisions he makes are dumb, but they're coming from a place where like, he just really wants to do something.
Like, straight off emotion.
Straight emotion, and that's his thing. And that's why I'm all over the place right now, my bad. Manny brought some fucking Jack in here. That shit got me feeling right. You know, that's just my Nate juice, baby. That shit get me going. But fucking, I kind of want to get into, speaking of the characteristics of all of them, the trio of Armin, Mikasa, and Eren, and why all of them are so necessary and kind of the symbolism in all three of them. And so I got to thinking about what Attack on Titan is kind of saying with the symbolism between Armin, Mikasa, and Eren. These three are going to be the ones to push humanity. Given this is me thinking mid-season 3, season 2, when I didn't know that, when I didn't know the full landscape of shit, when I thought like this shows about the fight of humanity and how humanity is going to prevail as a whole. And it seemed like they were introducing Armin, Mikasa, and Eren as the driving force for humanity in a 3-man combo way. Armin would be the brains, Eren would be the sword, and Mikasa would be the shield. And that reflects in their own priorities and what drives them. Eren, since he was born, has an incredible drive. When they were kids, Armin would get picked on and shit, and Eren would just run the fuck in, like hands first, running, swinging, knowing damn well he can't fight against people twice his size. He was running and fucking swinging because he knew, like, son, you don't hurt my man. So that's it. It's rage time now. And it's just all drive. And then Mikasa will come in with the actual fucking hands. And Mikasa's whole drive since she was that age has always been protecting Eren. The only reason Mikasa's even a scout is because Eren's a scout. At the end of the day, like, she cares about humanity. I'm not gonna say she doesn't, because she does. But like, the only reason she's a scout is because Eren. She had no drive to become a scout. She didn't have any like hopes of driving the humanity to its next point and progressing any of that shit. She had none of those dreams. She just wanted to protect Eren. She's the mother. As far as tying us back to the symbolism I'm talking about, she's the shield. She's the one that protects. Eren's the drive that forced you to move forward. And Armin's the mind that lets you do it in the way that's going to be effective. I mean, that makes sense until we figure out what we figure out in season 3.
That's a good take, though. Yeah, man.
Oh, no, man. Attack on Titan's so fucking good.
Man, there's so many angles you can hit with Attack on Titan. Just when you think you've known something or you just figured something out, they introduce something and flip your whole mindset. So that's why I fuck with this show so hard.
Just staying in what we're talking about with why Attack on Titan is so fucking great. Another thing that they did so well from the jump was the realism of the situations that these characters were in. Like, they didn't spare anything in putting you in an emotional state that's gonna make you feel the terror and the tension and the urgency that the characters on screen feel. Like, you draw a connection to, like, we saw Eren's mom at the beginning of the first episode, and she's a sweet lady. She's beautiful, she's loving. You could tell that she jokes around with Eren and Mikasa and them, and you could tell she's just a nice mom, man. It looks as if they're living like a pretty nice life, given us within these walls and the conditions. But like, it's a nice life that they're living in comparison to what it could be. And then just when you see that lightning bolt, and it's just a tightened head over the walls, and you see the eyes of Eren. And so I'm gonna go on a tangent in the middle of my tangent. Another thing that they do so fucking well, another thing that Attack on Titan does so well, and I love it so fucking much, is the concentration on eyes. They convey so much emotion with all the eye shots that they have. It's just, the eyes is such a focal point.
Pain, you feel the fear, everything, all
the pain, emotions. The drop, their anger when alright, I'm all the fucking over the place, bro. In season 3, when they're executing their plan to get back to Shiganshina and plug up the wall of Shiganshina and Walmaria, during that plan, Reiner in his armor titan form climbed the wall to where Erevan was, trying to get over it so he can get rid of the horses so the scout regiment could be pretty much trapped. And while he's on top of the wall, Eren turned into a titan inside of the wall to try to draw Reiner back into the wall. And in between that happening and Reiner realizing that Eren turned to a titan and he's inside of the wall, and then putting two together, he's baiting him, Reiner catches eye of Erevan, who is standing on the wall maybe like 15 feet from him. And Erevan's facing towards the Beast Titan on the other side of the wall where Levi and the rest of the rookie scouts and the garrison are. But he's side-eyeing Reiner in his eye, and you get this fucking... Son, I felt it in the pit of my gut when it closed in on Erevan's eye and you saw the rage that he had towards Reiner. And it's like, there's so many parts like that in Attack on Titan. This makes you feel the emotions, man.
Yeah, I just visualized the whole episode just from you describing that.
Son, there's so many moments like that. Another huge moment like that, which like it gave me chills when this happened. This is the first time. I might not even be the first time. Eren got taken so many fucking times. This is during the part where I was just so mad at Eren, and this is kind of before he even turned to a bitch too. He just kept getting.
He was king of getting kidnapped.
He was the king of getting kidnapped, son. He couldn't stop getting kidnapped. That nigga was kidnapped. Oh, I think it's the first time he got kidnapped though, because this is when the scout regiment caught back up with Eren and Reiner, Bertolt, and Ymir, and they had Reiner trapped. And Reiner was keeping Eren. Reiner was on his knees, like surrounded. They chopped his Achilles. He couldn't really move. All he was doing was covering up Eren with his hands so that the scouts couldn't get to him.
Right.
But his hand covered Eren right at the time where Mikasa, her fucking driven. I love Mikasa so much. Where Mikasa got there and ran to her hand, and then she got there just a second too late.
Right.
But the look in fucking Mikasa's eyes when she's staring down Bertolt, when Bertolt's within Reiner's hand with Eren, son, it was like an animal, son. It was so different than the look that Erevan gave Reiner, but it's terrifying, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Even Reiner was low-key shook. Like,
Reiner was shook.
He's in Titan form.
Son.
In Titan form, he's shook from this girl.
Mikasa is different, bro. She's number one in her class. The next 5 people were all Titans. Mikasa's different.
Yeah.
Mikasa's so fucking different. And they haven't really gotten to her character that much for us to really like. We still don't know that much about her. We know she's an Ackerman. But they didn't even get into too much of what that meant in the context of her. We know what that means for Levi and Kenny.
Right.
And we know that Mikasa has some type of gene in her that both of them have.
The
badass gene. But we still don't know too much about, like, I mean, we know about her parents, kind of. We know about how they died and how Eren saved her and convinced her to be a mass murderer, pretty much. She's a psychopath, bro.
Yeah.
In retrospect, in real life, she probably couldn't stay around.
Nah.
But she's really a psychopath. She's a stalker to Eren. She won't let Eren have, like, a moment alone.
No bullshit. God forbid Eren is, like, turn into the Mac Daddy of all Mac Daddies.
Dog.
Yo, she don't have hella bodies on her.
Dog. Bodies. God, she's killing anyone Eren looks at twice. 100%. 100%. Eren's never gonna have no hoes.
Nah, never.
Not when Mikasa's alive.
Nah.
Why the fuck is like, I get it. Eren saved her when she was little, but son, like, relax a little bit.
Yeah, she don't have no eyes for anybody else.
Nobody else. She don't care about nobody else.
And that's the kind of woman we need, though.
It is. I'm talking shit. It is. I want a woman that will stab every other woman I look at. Damn, man. Attack on Titan is so fucking great. You want to actually get into season 3?
Let's do it, man.
Season fucking 3. At the end of every season, we pretty much got a huge revelation. Near the end of season 1, I think season 1 ended with us even figuring out that... I want to say season 1 ended with the whole Annie shit. I might be wrong. That's either the way season 1 ended or the way season 2 ended. So season 1 ended with the whole fight with Annie. And the big reveal there in the later parts of season 1 was that there's other Titan shifters. And that they're inside the walls and they're one of us. The big reveal from season 2, which is kind of, it was a little earlier in the season, was that, oh shit, the big reveal for season 2 was that all Titans are people.
Yeah.
Fuck! Attack on Titan is so good. I'm forgetting that how big the flip was in season 3 is binding me so much that I forgot that the show flipped the show on its head like 3 or 4 times before that.
The impact, every time they come through with a plot shift, the impact is so good. It's
so huge.
It's better than the last one. So
it's so huge that you think that's the main flip of the show.
Yeah. Because now everybody just turned into Titans, and then you forget, like, nobody was doing that shit. So
no, we didn't even know it was possible.
People were turning into Titans. That was the big thing.
All Titans. That we learned that all Titans are people. And we saw Sasha's mom. Damn, bro. And then I love that they did this too. After that, they had that moment where, like, okay, the scout regiment kind of together worked it out and talked through just realizing the fact that all Titans are people. And you have this moment of kind of silence in the room when they all just kind of come to the realization that they've been killing people this whole time, like 11 people just like them and their family and everything. And you could see that sit with them, and you could see them like go through that mental battle of just realizing that you guys have been murdering people.
Your kids murdering people.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with that.
Yeah, but they did that and they conveyed that without saying anything about it. That's how fucking good Attack on Titan is. It's all that facial acting and the work with the eyes and everything. Because you can see that they had that same kind of like moment near the end of season, or near the end of the first half of season 3, when they realized, like, alright, well, some of them did. The sociopaths like Levi and Mikasa didn't think twice about it. When they realized, like, alright, our enemy now is people, and we have to kill people. I love.
It was with the shit.
They was
ready.
Some of them was. Mikasa was. Levi told the squad that, and most of them was like, what? Mikasa's like, alright, bet. And killed somebody just like that. No thinking twice. Them Ackermans is different.
Yeah.
Them Ackermans is different.
Cutthroat.
Because the rest of them kind of dealt with that. They dealt with that shit, and you could see that after the whole Kenny shit was kind of over with. And they got Eren back from like the 19th time he was kidnapped from the Rice family. And then they were back eating in the mess hall, and you see like the new class of rookie scouts or future scout soldiers, like, or regiment soldiers, whatever, the people that are going through boot camp, and they're talking that big like hopeful naivety shit that Eren and the rest of them, actually they were all Eren kind of. They were talking about this naivety shit, and you could see like the group that we have followed, they're veterans now, and they're hardened and they're just cold. And their table's all just kind of silent, and you can tell like they've been through some real shit, and they're not really trying to hear that like hopeful, naive, I'm gonna change the world type shit from these new kids, because you have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
You have no idea. But you're not even close to understanding.
Not even close to understanding the scale of what's really going on. But then we realized that's the way that everybody else who's now dead was looking at John and Eren when they were having their like arguments in a mess hall, talking about some bullshit, some hopeful bullshit. Who's your favorite character of the series so far?
Would it be cliche to say Levi?
Nah, you can. There's a reason why everybody loves him. There's a reason why.
It's like I don't know, like with him and his motives to do everything that Erwin needed to do, whatever it took for humanity to survive. Like he's the epitome of I'm putting everything on the line. It's no excuses, and I fuck with that mentality.
Yeah.
Like his skill set, like it's a lot of the scouts. You can tell like they follow a game plan, and so does Levi. But you can tell he has like a unique skill set where like maybe it ties him from his past of being in the underground crime scene and everything like that. But like I just fuck with his whole style.
You could see that shit too in some of the final scenes. Oh my god, Attack on Titan is so great. I'm just remembering scenes and shit, my bad. But fucking you could see that in one of the final scenes where Eren finally worked out his plan of what he's gonna do when they're in a situation where they're surrounded and the Beast Titan is on one side of the wall, surrounded by a whole rack of Titans, and then on the other side of the wall is Reiner and eventually Bertolt. And Eren actually works out his plan and says, alright, Levi's squad and Hanji's squad go kill the armor Titan. The garrison and all the Orochi scouts go down there and protect the horses and shit. And it's like, alright, nah, Levi, you stay with me, because I'm gonna need you to kill that beast Titan. And
he sent one man
to
kill the beast Titan.
And that, I want to keep this in perspective. One man killing a regular Titan is a crazy feat. I know at this point it seems like it's like yeah, I'll kill like his fodder. It's not. It's a crazy. This is a 150-foot being who just man-eating this machine that's like, and these are small ass humans. Levi is like 5'1". Killing a regular Titan is a huge deal. And Erevan's asking this one man to go kill the leader of them, who is way bigger than any other Titan, who's conscious, who can throw things with crazy ass accuracy. And he's surrounded by other big ass Titans. And he's asking one man, Levi, to get over there and kill him with no trees around, no buildings around to use the ODM gear. And Levi's like, alright, bet. I'm going to take his head for you.
That's crazy.
I'm going to take his head for you.
That is crazy. You can't even utilize what you've been training to do and training to kill these monsters, but you can't even do that against the leader. Like, think about playing a video game and you're set to defeat the boss and everything you've been learning to defeat the minions and everything like that. You can't do it. So you gotta make up a whole different game plan, a whole different strategy, just to get, you know what I'm saying, have a chance.
Son.
Crazy.
Oh, I don't want to understate how crazy that of a request that is. And Levi didn't think twice about accepting that shit. And it wasn't a doubt in Levi's mind that he was gonna do it. He was like, yeah, alright, I will take his head for you to make up for the miss and killing Reiner a second ago. When he stabbed Reiner through the neck and Reiner still survives. And it's like, just that mindset is one of one. It's one of one. It's one of one or one of the Ackerman, or just him being an Ackerman, which is, his Ackermans are different. But I get it. Levi's a fan favorite for a fucking reason.
Yeah. What about you, bro?
Son, I gotta go Erevan. Erevan's one of my favorite characters in anime altogether. He's on my list. If you follow the Erevan Army, I have a list of just like, I don't know if there's even criteria to this list. It's just whatever criteria that I make in the moment. But there's certain characters that I just really, really, really fucking resonate with, and I fuck with on just a character level. It's everything about them. It's just like, it's so special to me that just get on my list. And Erevan is on that list for me. Mikas is also on that list for me. And just to give some context for who else would be, like, Bakugo's on my list. Fucking who am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting a whole rack of people. Zoro's on my list. Luffy's actually on my list too, given a few different things and realizing kind of more about his character. I'm drawing a blank now, but son, Erevan's on my list, man. He's the hardest character ever to me. The hardest character ever to me. He's one of those characters here that has that drive, just like Eren in a different way. He has this drive to just move forward, and specifically to Eren, to learn more things. Erevan's drive is just to learn more about the world. Just like how Eren was kind of disgusted in the general public's acceptance of the place that they're in physically. He kept referring to his people as cattle, because they're really living a life in a pen, being scared of the things that are free, which are the Titans outside there that can kill them any second that they want. And Eren is disgusted with the public just being okay with that. Erevan is more specifically disgusted in the public being okay with not knowing the truth on what's going on.
Right.
And with them, and I resonate with this shit too, because that is, and to a much lower scale. I'm not in the same situation that fucking any of these niggas are. But like, I feel like I always come from a standpoint where I really kind of not look down on people, but like, I can't help but to kind of think less of people who just are okay with thinking what they've been told to believe and not really even questioning shit, and just like not really even making any effort to learn more about anything.
And from knowing you for as long as, you know what I'm saying, Blood Brother Sandbox shit.
For decades, B.
With you explaining that makes so much sense. That validates your affection for Erevan, because you think the same way. exactly what you just said. You think exactly the same way.
And so on top of that mindset, and me relating to that mindset, Aaron's just a hard motherfucker, bro. A hard one. Good. One of the best. I might say right now, best leader in anime.
Yeah, in terms of leader,
best leader in anime.
Like,
nobody gets me hyped like Aaron. Nobody does. It's son. Oh my god, he had so many moments.
Leading people to death.
To death. And I would definitely ride the death for him.
They put down all doubts, all fears, and they like that last charge against the Beast Titan where you knew everybody would die. Like, he told them to their face.
Son.
You would not, if you live, it'll be a miracle. And miracles don't happen. Like,
yeah. We know where we're living.
And
Miracles don't happen.
Like, fuck, man, we're gonna die. Alright, fuck it, let's go. Like, no, me personally, I'm not going with you guys. I'm sorry. Like,
no.
Come on, hey, give me like another week or something. I ain't know if I'm gonna die today.
Yeah, word. So I
was gonna die eventually, but not today. I wasn't ready. Like, I needed to sleep on it, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
Get a good meal in.
Marlo just got to the point where he thinks he's gonna hit other John. That's what waiting on him. He's like, I just got to. It's like, I just figured out she wanted me, son.
Hey, that would suck.
Oh my god, bro.
Suck,
Realize that, because like they left on like conversations, and you knew, like from that conversation, you knew if you're Marlo, he's like, all right, I can hit. As soon as like now, especially she's going out there, she's gonna see me as a hero, bro. I'm going outside the walls and
I'm about to flex a new move.
I'm about to take a whole district back for human. I'm moving humankind for it, son. I'm about to go get some crazy ahead when I get back. And then this fucking nigga that you just met, telling you, all right, ride this horse that way and die real quick. Just real quick. Just get on that horse. That one's right there. Right over there. Die. It takes a real motherfucker to get somebody to follow you there. One of my favorite fucking scenes. It's rare that I like. Not rare. I have another list. If you're following this podcast, you're probably kind of aware of a few things on this list too. And it's of anime moments that have made me have a physical reaction, like where I stand up and actually literally yell in real life or have a real reaction. An example of this shit was a fucking United States Smash, man. All Might versus All For One. All For One beat the shit out of All Might. All Might's back in his regular form, and the world sees it, and he's on TV, and and everybody's scared now. It's like, oh shit, our symbol of fucking hope and protection. The indestructible man is now at this point where he's 85 pounds. He looks like he's 100 years old. He's done. He's about to get beaten. Evil's gonna win, and the world sees it. And like they cut to they're in the streets, and Bakugo and Deku are both watching who's both of their heroes and both of their drives of being who they want to be today almost lose, and everybody's watching it. It's like and it's the world's future right here, and everybody's watching, and everybody's like, come on, All Might, we need you to win. We need you to do it. And son, he pulls it out, and he pulls the United States Smash, and I got up, I said, fuck you, All Might, let's fucking go. And then I'm not gonna lie, I did the same shit at the end of the fight with Bakugo and Deku, because I'm a Bakugo stan, bro. I feel where Bakugo's coming from, and that shit meant so much to him, even though at that point, Deku was kind of stronger than Bakugo. Yeah. And Bakugo still out of the will of his like determination and shit, pulled that shit off and flipped that shit on him, and I got hyped. And fucking Erwin Smith led a mission to go retrieve Eren Yeager, who at that point was seen as the only, like, the biggest hope for humanity, or at least the biggest hope that humanity's ever had so far. And like I said, all the importance in the world, really, at this point. And Erwin's leading the charge to go retrieve him in Titan territory. And he's trying to convince his troops. It's like, yo, follow me, man. A lot of us are going to die, but Erwin's fucking important, man. We gotta get him. And he's giving his speech, and during this shit, a Titan just picks him right off his horse, grabs him bites him by his arm, and yanks him away. And we think, oh shit, our leader just died right in front of us. Like, what the fuck are we? I was only following him. He talked me into doing this shit, and he just died right there. What the fuck am I gonna do? We have no leader. Like, I'm scared. What the fuck am I gonna do? And Erwin saw that, and he's like, nah. And he pointed with his fucking sword, and he said, charge! Don't look at me! Charge! While he's getting pulled away by his arm, it's getting pulled off by another Titan. That's hard, bro. That is hard.
he handles his battle scars, his battle wounds in front of his men fearlessly, perfectly. Like his intangibles are just flawless when it comes to leadership. Like flawless. He never wavers in front of his men, and that's so important to the point where his leadership precedes him in his death. Like, what else can you say, bro? Like, you can't make a better leader. You know what I'm saying?
You can't. You cannot. You cannot. Fuck, the end of season 3 was so fucking good. Alright. So, everything is kind of coming to an end as far as the battle in Shiganshina. Reiner is mortally wounded. The Beast Titan is mortally wounded by Levi. Both were picked up by the fucking, whatever that dog Titan is, that four-legged Titan, and they retreated. Bertolt is captured. There's maybe there's 9 people left in the scout regiment. The scouts have one syringe full of Titan juice, and they know whoever they poke with this is going to turn into a Titan, and they can swallow a Titan with one of the 9 Titan powers, and pretty much come back to life. Or just gain the powers of a Titan, which includes regenerative shit and everything, all that whole 9 yards. And they're faced with the decision, eventually, of bringing Erwin or Armin back and giving them the power of the Colossal Titan. Man, what do you think he would have done? That's a hard choice, bro.
I'm bringing Erwin back. Just off the strength of he's battle tested, he's respected. He has all the intangibles. He's the perfect leader. Everything he's proven have on. Like, that is the person. If you're taking humanity's, well, I wouldn't even say humanity's, well, the power that has put humanity on the brink of extinction, and you're putting it in the hands of one of the best leaders ever, one of the best men ever, that would be an ace in your whole, like, you would want to have that on your side when you're when you're the underdog. You need an edge when you're the underdog, so you would want that instead of putting yourself in a unpredictable situation with Armin. So I had to go with Erwin.
At the end of the day, Armin's a kid, and from their perspective, Erwin's like I said, Erwin's battle tested. Like the people know Erwin is something special. I spoke before about the scout regiment and how they were hugely disliked for a while because from the citizen's perspective they were just leading people to their deaths for nothing to show for it. And it's because the scouts have never had anything to show for what they've done. Never have. And Erwin was the first leader that's actually led to any sort of even glimpse of hope.
Right.
He's obviously something special in moving humanity forward to the perspective of these people. And like you were saying before, you're rolling such a big set of dice on Armin, because like at the end of the day, Armin's a kid, and son, I'm looking at Armin cry right now on screen because like he's a kid that's to deal with an immense amount of pressure just because of how smart he is, let alone the burden of knowing that we gave up our leader for you. That's a lot of pressure for a kid to bear, let alone a kid built like Armin. Like I'm gonna talk shit about Armin because he crumbles a lot. But like, at the end of the day, he's still harder than any other real person in real life. He's just in a terrible situation. He's in an unimaginable situation where people aren't really supposed to be built enough to deal with that shit in the first place. So like, I understand how people can critique Armin and shit like that, but I feel like the criticism shouldn't be pointed towards him because at the end of the day, he's a lot harder than every other person that's in those walls for the shit that he does.
And he has performed under some types of pressure, but just to degree.
He does often.
Erwin it's not like in any other circumstance you would always take the seasoned veteran over the new experience, more intelligence, all that factors in, and they really made an emotional decision.
I mean, it 100% was an emotional decision that was made then, but I still want to make a case for Armin. Armin, they still wouldn't be anywhere near where they're at now without Armin. They wouldn't. That's facts. They would. The whole Scout Regiment would be dead without Armin.
That's facts.
How fucking smart Armin is, and he doesn't even realize until literally like just now. It's the only reason why they're there. He looked at a little fucking campsite and was able to deduct the like okay, these people were here just minutes ago. That means they've been like scouting us and they've been here watching us. That means they knew this, and this, and that means that they're in this general area. And then he turned around and deducted a whole bunch of shit and said like, all right, what would Rhino do in the situation? What would Baruto do in the situation? What would somebody who has these type of advantages do in the situation? And be able to deduct that and figure out that Reiner's inside the wall and that bang, bang, bang is what's going on. And without that type of advantage of knowing that, they would have been wiped out immediately. They all would have.
With them picking Armin, what I would like to see from him in the future is not just casually making decisions here and there that, you know, might or may not make an impact in the situation they go through in the future. I kind of want him to succeed.
Yeah.
Because making that tough with a decision, you don't get to be mediocre.
Nope.
You don't get to be a bystander and watch Eren and Misaka.
You have to step up.
Take the front lines. Like, his character development has to be immense. With a decision at that magnitude.
I think it's going to. I think we're starting
to.
We're starting to see the character progression of Armin.
Yeah. And with him getting a Titan power, that'll definitely attribute to it. So, hey, he got some shit in the bag.
Oh shit! I'm forgetting another moment. I don't know how I forgot this. Armin's moment. Son, Armin is... Alright, hey, hold up. No more Armin slander. I don't want to hear any more Armin slander from anybody ever. Hey, no more Armin slander. You saw the hard ass Armin gave us... Oh my god, I forgot about Armin's plan to beat the Colossal Titan. Where he anchored himself to the bone of the Colossal Titan so he wouldn't get pushed off by the steam, but let himself be burned alive so that Eren could get the chance to kill the Colossal Titan.
That's good.
Son, and we saw his hair burn and his skin start to burn off and peel off, and he was still alive and screaming, and his teeth started to actually burn. And son, we saw all that. Armin was burnt alive by his own choice, and he held on. He could have let go whenever he wanted to.
His first
he had to buy that time.
Leadership moment right there.
Son, hard. I gotta frame that. You gotta frame that and put it on a wall in a museum or something. Like, that's what makes legends. Bro. That's what makes legends. He made himself a martyr for the sake of humanity and the sake of his friends, and he gave up on his dream of seeing the ocean so that his people can move forward.
So, hey, that just goes to show you how much of a man and what kind of man Erwin was.
And Armin.
Yeah.
But from the show standpoint, I see what they're doing. I agree with you in a standpoint of perspective of the people making the decision. Of Levi, Eren, Mikasa, and the rookie, I'm forgetting his name. The only nigga that survived the charge against the Beast Titan. Right here, dude. I'm not gonna remember his name. I think it's Milo. I think his name is Milo. From the decision that was made between them, it was an emotional decision. The right decision from what they knew at that point in time kind of was Erwin. And they addressed that. They addressed that the right decision was Erwin.
Lucas.
But in the context of the show, I can see now that I know what direction the show is going, that Erwin and what Erwin brought to the table is no longer needed to push the people forward for where they need to go next.
Exactly.
And Armin is. Because Erwin brought an intense leadership. Intense was ability to lead, I guess.
The icebreaker.
The icebreaker.
You need someone tough and with a mentality like that to break the ice. Now that the ice has been broken, you need someone
navigate
more
the waters.
Gentle, understanding and compassionate feel, but also someone with an intellect, and now with the battle experience and the pressure and magnitude of living up to Erwin's hype and to build a foundation for the future to come. So you can totally see where they
and for that you're gonna need Armin's mind.
Exactly.
And for that you're gonna need Armin's mind. And when I think about it, Erwin kind of had the same power that Eren has, as far as just the ability to just resonate with people and just lead them with his words into battle.
Yeah.
Erwin was the human coordinate, and they don't necessarily. Well, one, they don't need it because Sun Scout Regiment is 8 people now.
Yeah.
There's 8 people,
Bullshit.
and they're ready to dedicate. You don't necessarily need what Aaron brings to the table anymore. Well, too. Also, now the enemy isn't Titans. The enemy is people, and you're gonna need a different set of intelligence for that. And that's Armin. Armin brings something. Armin's a legit genius, and they don't come often.
I'm mad. I really realized and understood all that until now.
Yeah.
Because I was so startled. I was like, when I first seen it, I was like, how the fuck did y'all not pick Erwin?
I thought the same thing. I thought the same
thing. Man.
I thought the same thing. Like,
now,
I get it. That's your man's Aaron. Like,
yeah,
I fight and everything, but
you know, it makes sense, and I'm more accepting to it now. So, hey, it's gonna be good, man.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. I understand where Levi was coming from. I'm still surprised that Levi made the decision he made. Actually,
That's tough.
that was but even his reasoning was kind of even more emotional than Aaron's was.
Yeah.
Because Levi only did it for Erwin.
Yeah, and I would.
Not for the good of humanity or the scouts or anything like that. Because the good of them, and Levi knows this, is Erwin from his perspective.
Side note, that just means all old people are selfish. So when you get old, you're gonna be selfish, dog. But you gotta be smart enough to know when to leave the selfish shit alone. You know what I'm saying?
Or die.
Or die.
I'm mad that they're old now because Erwin looks like he's 29 years old. But he's old.
No bullshit.
Erwin's about 30 years old.
No bullshit.
Oh shit! Speaking of that, we gotta get into all of 72 bombs that were dropped in the last fucking 4 episodes of season 3.
Let's go.
One, like what we're talking about now about dying young, we figured out that once you get one of the what do they call it? The Superior 9. What the fuck's the name of it? One of the 9 Titan powers, you're gonna die 13 years later, which is just on its own a huge bomb, but kind of the smallest one that was dropped during the whole big Grisha flashback.
Yeah.
Oh, another reason, going back into my reasoning, one of my reasons why I love Attack on Titan so much and how they give all the characters flaws, we find out that Grisha was kind of wrong about everything his whole life. Grisha was kind of dumb. Actually, going back to my flashback. Because, from what we knew about Grisha before, it was nah, Grisha's the smartest nigga ever. He's aloof. I kind of thought I had to be in this character before, when we got, the whole, I thought Grisha was going to be kind of similar to how, the Elric father was in Full Metal Alchemist. How, he left in the beginning of the show, but he knows the secrets of everything that's going on. And he's the all-knowing person, and he's the smartest nigga here. And we gotta find him to really get the answers to everything. But when we see the Grisha flashback, Grisha served a purpose that was huge for everything. But actually, we thought that because of Commandant Shadis' flashback, when he talked about how Grisha came in, and Grisha was just different. He seemed to know all the answers, and he seemed to just have, in Shadis' words, he was special. And then we go back to Grisha's flashback. So Grisha was kind of raised in the family of one of the Elrians? Whatever the name of the race of people that's trapped inside the walls. You people listening at home are probably yelling at us. To the fucking Elrics! These dumb motherfuckers. But he was born to one of the families of those who stayed behind and didn't go to the island with the king race, and everybody else went with them. And they're living as second-class citizens. They're living in a small district, and they're living in walls of themselves too. They're kind of in a parallel situation with the people in the wall, or at least where they believe they're in. Where they're living inside walls, the people with the real power are outside of them, and they can kind of do whatever they want to them. Kind of a parallel to the Attack on Titan we know. And Grisha, a lot like Eren, is pissed about that situation. Oh fuck! Now that I'm talking this through, Grisha and Eren are a lot. Oh damn. Oh shit! I'm having a real revelation about the characters. This is why I love Attack on Titan. Eren and Grisha are the same person with different influences. They're the same person with different influences.
That's crazy.
Because
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't think about that. Because Grisha is just pissed about the situation he's in, and he's pissed that everybody else is okay with it because he hated his father for being okay with the situation that they're in and sucking up to the Marley and the people who really had power and believing in the bullshit that they gave him, just like Eren was, and just like the flaws that Eren had, and kind of Eren's not necessarily the smartest. He's only in the situations that he's able to be in because of the people that he surrounds himself with and how good they are. Grisha didn't necessarily have those people, and Grisha and all of his rebellious energy kind of just joined the first people who were just against Marley, and that happened to be the subjects of Ymir. And in the flashback we saw the people who were the subject of Ymir had no fucking idea what they were doing, and they were all over the place. So Grisha came in and immediately became the leader of something he just fucking joined, and like spouted a whole bunch of bullshit, some shit that we knew he just made up. And he was just like, he was a follower pretty much. He was susceptible. Grisha's just a susceptible person, and he fell into the first bullshit that he found, and he fell into that shit head first, kind of just like Eren would, and he made that shit his life, to the point where like he shacked up with the royal blood member that they had, that they praised as their god Ymir at the time, who the Ymir that we know in the present time, it turns out that that's kind of cyclical, and after the whole thing with Grisha, she was put up as a subject of the the prophet of the subjects of Ymir later on, and all that bullshit. But what the fuck was that? Oh, he bought so far into that like he centered his life around that bullshit, and he put all that shit into his own son, the same way that his dad put all of that shit, all the Marley propaganda into him. But giving more credit to Grisha's dad, his dad did it to protect Grisha, and because he knows that like Grisha's gonna need to be able to believe this to kind of stay alive and the environment that they're in. Grisha kind of put that shit in his son. Grisha put that shit in his son to further the movement of the subjects of Ymir because he's of royal blood, but it's from a base of kind of bullshit
and selfishness
big
people are selfish.
Big selfishness. Big huge selfishness. He had no idea of the grander scheme, when us as the audience always thought he knew the grander scheme.
And he did this after it failed with Zeke. He already tried this once. It failed.
Yeah.
It backfired on him. And he was like, hey, I survived. I got another son on the way. Guess what? I'm about to do it again.
Son.
That is selfish.
It's all selfishness. It's all selfishness. Even after he finds out kind of more of the truth through the owl of what's going on behind the subject of the mirror, and the truth about Marley and what's really going on behind the scenes, he's still like you said, he still kept that same base of selfishness, and kind of just repeated the same shit with Eren, even though it turned out to be something that's great for humanity. Him as a character isn't as great and profound as the audience was led to believe that he was. But at the same time, the audience only thought that he was going to be that because of anime tropes and show tropes, and because we're so used to like characters being so linear, and that we can see the first episode and say, okay, this is that character, okay, this is that character, this is that character. That our minds automatically do that without even like thinking twice about it. And I love that Attack on Titan just throws out on his head too, just like I do every fucking else on the show.
How can you not love shit like that?
How
like,
can you not love shit
really
like that?
gotta think. Your mind works when you watch this shit. It's not like a patty cake, you know what I'm saying, walk in the park show where you can just man, it's so many dimensions to this show, bro.
There's so many dimensions to this shit. I recommend this show that non-anime watchers all the time. I do, just to get to, because the big thing with non-anime watchers, they feel like it's like, you know what I mean, cartoons, it's for kids and shit like that, and they might actually see some scenes of maybe like Dragon Ball Z or One Piece and shit like that, and that'll confirm what they're saying, because it looks like it could be some kid shit,
right?
But like they'll know there's a lot of anime out here that's really like, this contains the best writing in TV.
Yeah.
Like the top maybe 15 best written shows on TV are anime. The best writing ever is anime, with a few in these huge shows too. But anime consistently has some of the best writing out.
It's just different,
especially now.
If you're not on it, man, hey, put somebody on it, man.
Yeah.
Just because they say they don't like it, just because they say they not fucking with it, don't mean they will never fuck with it.
Yeah. Nah, they tell themselves that they can't, but at the end of the day, there's a reason why so many niggas do, because this shit's objectively great. This shit is objectively great. All that being said, I'm still very fucking confused about what's going on. Like, it seems like I thought watching this season that this is going to be the last season of Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was going to be the end. I thought the end of Attack on Titan was going to be we get to see what's in the basement. We learn the truth about what's going on and how they got the situation. They kill the Beast Titan. All of this going to be wrapped up. And little do I know, it's the fucking thing about Attack on Titan. The more answers you get, they only end up bringing more questions. More questions. I thought I was going to get answers in the basement. All I got was 100 more questions. 1,000,000 more questions. And that's what gives the show legs. I could see 3 more fucking seasons of this.
Yeah.
I thought it was about to be over.
And I'm for it.
I'm 100% for it. It's just like I liken the feeling that I had at the end of season 3 of Attack on Titan to how I felt at the end of the Golden Age saga of Berserk. Because the whole time you're watching the Golden Age saga of Berserk is a long saga. It's long enough to be a whole anime in itself. And you're thinking like, all right, I gotta handle what's going on here, man. This is I'm watching a wanderer kind of Ronin type character in Guts, kind of join these mercenary armies every once in a while just to get some money because he's a fucking amazing warrior and he's been going through his own shit and everything. He links up with this nigga Griffith. They form a mercenary band and they go do their shit and there's a whole plot and everything. And then Griffith gets captured and tortured and all that and they get him back and it's a whole story. And you think you have a handle on, yeah, this is Berserk. This is a show I'm watching. And then you figure out the next layer, what the fuck's going on, and that's really like about like all this demon shit and Griffith gave everybody else to get to be a god and everything, and you realize the real show didn't start yet. Everything you watched was just a prologue to the real show, even though everything you just watched was fucking 14 hours worth of material. All that was just a prologue to the real show. And that's the way I felt at the end of Attack on Titan. I was like, oh damn, I didn't even know that wasn't, everything I just saw wasn't the actual show. It was just a setup to the real thing that's going on in the world. Oh my god, bro. I can't think of a bigger twist.
That just makes stories and storytelling so much better.
It does.
Just laying everything up front, set me up for story, you know what I'm saying? It just adds a whole different element to things.
How's this rank as far as the twist in anime?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think what else is even up here.
I was about to say, like, I don't
know. The Berserk twist is up here.
Okay.
It's still not in this level, but the Berserk twist is definitely up there. It's a huge twist. I don't know what else is even that big.
You got me. If you could find something better than this, let us know. Like, this is top tier. I'm talking upper echelon. Like,
upper.
This is the standard. For you anime makers out there, you wanna throw some plot twist out here. Like, hey, this is the standard.
It's the standard.
You have to compare your shit to this. This is no joke.
I love that too. It's gonna push anime forward.
Yes,
it really is.
Most definitely a staple in the anime world.
It's crazy that we get to see anime progress the way we are.
Man, I love it.
Because when we started watching anime, it was, I mean, granted, we started with the Dragon Ball and everything, and then the big three came in with Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. And granted, One Piece is still going with progressive storytelling, and Naruto still was a huge progression in anime storytelling than what was going on at the time. But we saw the type of shit that's going on in Yu Yu Hakusho and Inuyasha and Zash Bell and all the other shows that's going on during that time, and it went to Full Metal and it's all that shit. We literally get to see before our eyes the way that this type of entertainment is progressing. It's progressing in such a great fucking way.
And I would have never thought that it would. I wouldn't say I never sat back and was like, anime is gonna be on that type of level.
Nope.
You know, I just thought, hey, I love this shit, you know what I'm saying? They gonna come through with the superhero, but it's actually storytelling and plot twist and emotional shit. Like, yo,
character development.
It's like, bro, like, I hate trying to explain this shit to people who don't watch anime because they never really will understand unless they watch it.
You can't understand unless you watch it.
Like,
there's nothing, no show. I will say literally no show has the type of character development that most great anime has.
Facts. That's facts.
Leaving Goku out. Because Goku has no character development. I'm gonna say that every episode of this podcast, Goku has no character development. One of the only main characters in successful anime history, not named Ichigo, that has no character development.
Yeah.
In a way, that's kind of a feat.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what?
What about Saitama?
See, even Saitama has character development in certain ways. At some point, actually, I didn't watch the last season of One Punch Man yet, but and just me seeing kind of what's going on and the direction it's going, you see Saitama kind of start to realize that the world is a little more, should be taken a little more serious than he is. Maybe. I have to see the next season to really get accurate with that. But I can see room for Saitama. I feel like what I've seen from Saitama so far is a setup for a character that's going to progress later. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
Like in the setup, they make it like his character, like the gag of not really character about anything. But we've seen that before, and we've seen that change to a real actual character with real thoughts and emotions, and that makes the character development hit that much harder because we saw where he started from.
Right.
We started from Saitama was just like kind of a joke character. We didn't really do shit. The same way that we saw Mob progress in the latest season. In the first season, Mob was a blank slate. Like, he was personality this, and that was kind of the gimmick. He was personality this. Everybody else saw his big personalities, but he was kind of just like, yeah, sure. And he didn't care about much. He didn't care that he had powers. And he's like, that was kind of just him. And then you saw later that what we saw from him season 1 was just a foundation for actual character development. And I feel like Saitama can get that same treatment. I don't know if he does or not because I haven't seen the latest season, but I feel like there's room for him.
It's kind of setting the stage for him to be serious, but right now, as far as I've watched the latest season, he's still just wandering around trying to test his powers and get a kick out of shit, trying to feel emotions like he did in the first season. But
see, because I don't think that show could even keep going if he doesn't, if he doesn't change a little bit.
Yeah, it can't.
Whereas like Dragon Ball Z just found that formula that works where you can just keep that going forever, and without Goku really changing. And I thought of another example. Okay, I'm watching One Piece currently, so forgive me if One Piece is always on my mind. And I'm thinking Luffy's another example of we're 900 episodes in and his personality has not changed at all. But then thinking about it a little more, I realized that that's on purpose because One Piece isn't a show about how Luffy changes given the circumstances around him and the things that happen to him. One Piece is a show about how Luffy affects the world with who he is and he stays constant. And just realizing that that's the way that Oda is going about Luffy's character gives more perspective, and I really appreciate that because you don't see that much in anime. Because usually with main characters in anime, it's about like a character is one way, things happen, those things change the character's mindset and what they believe in. Mm-hmm. That you see that happen in Naruto. So, I mean, we're talking about Attack on Titan. We saw this happen with Eren in so many ways. That's Eren's main thing. It's just all this crazy shit happens. All the crazy, depressing fucking shit. I almost say crazy, like it's like, oh shit, that's crazy. All this crazy, that's depressing shit happens, and it changes Eren's character in a lot of different ways because in a certain way, the show is about how these situations change Eren, whereas One Piece is about how Luffy stays the same and changes everything around him.
And it's beautiful both ways.
It is beautiful both ways.
What's your type?
It's beautiful both ways. And it's lazy the way that Goku is. It's just lazy. But I still love Dragon Ball Z. I don't want to make it sound like I just hate him. So, like I said earlier a little bit, we're starting to see the the character possession of Armin start with everything that he went through and near the end of season 3 and now he's taking over not taking over because Hanji's commander now, but he's gonna become the strategic leader, at least for the scouts, and we're seeing him deal with all this shit, and we're gonna see him change as a character. My question is, what is it gonna take for us to start Mikasa's character progression? We haven't gotten to Mika's character really at all yet.
Do you think they would shed a little bit more light on her at the beginning of the next season? Since Armin is going to be in like mostly a recovery state, and they're going to introduce him maybe later on once everything unfolds more. So maybe Misaka, her little segment comes in first, and then they piggyback off that and then go straight forward after that. Or do you think they just won't do it?
I think it's going to take the circumstances needing Mikasa for this story to get into Mikasa's background and why Mikasa is Mikasa, and just what's going on with Mikasa character-wise. And I don't see how, just in the same way that I said that Erwin isn't necessarily needed for this next part of the story, Mikasa and Levi kind of are going to get put in the wayside even more, I think, since the enemy is still kind of the Beast Titan, but I don't think that Beast Titan's gonna be doing that much more fighting. I think it's all gonna be like psychological with what's going on with Zeke from now on. Mm-hmm. But the enemy is Marley from now on, and Marley's mostly human.
Right.
I don't know how useful Mikasa and Levi are gonna be then. And for them to keep going, they're gonna have to get. I mean, they got into Levi's character and everything. We know more about Levi's character and what's going on with him, but we're gonna need something strange to happen in Mikasa's life. Strange, her like whole life is strange. But for like, you know what I mean. We learn more about Erwin when he's faced with death, and you realize that he got here from the bodies of everybody that like, and we saw like shit happen to make his character progress. Mm-hmm. And same is true with every other person in the show, including Armin, which we're talking about just now. All the shit happened for Armin's character to progress. What can happen for Mikasa's character to progress? Because right now, it's the same as the beginning. She only cares about Eren.
You gotta guess it's going to be Eren related. So.
It has to be. That there's something falling out or something.
That's interesting.
And what can Mikasa progress to? That's a bigger question.
Yeah, because
what is in-game Mikasa gonna look like?
Do they give her a Titan power too, and just give the trio of the Titan power?
I don't think they can, because I think I'll take away from how badass Mikasa is.
Yeah.
Because Mikasa's the whole big deal about Mikasa was she got the number one spot in front of 5 Titans. Oh, you know what it might be? Okay. I think I might see what the Mikasa angle might come into, because I'm forgetting that Mikasa comes from a prominent family, and one of the main things about that we learned from the Grisha flashbacks, it turns out to be a main thing, even though it didn't highlight it as much or really at all. They kind of just said it, but after the first Ymir died and the Titan powers are passed to 9 people, and then the Eldrians or the Eldrids or whatever the fuck these people are called were made a race, even though I don't think that they're even a race. They're just people that kind of like the public just chose to be Eldrians. Because now I'm thinking, because anybody can have that was one of the main questions. What the fuck is a you know what? I'm tired of saying the wrong thing. I don't know what it's called. Eldian. When I was recapping everything, I was wondering what the fuck even is an Eldrian. Is that, because my first thought, I thought Eldrians were the ones that had the powers to turn to Titans, and the rest were just normal people. If they get shot with the shit, nothing would happen to them. And because it only works in Eldrians, and that's why they looked at as scum, because they can turn to Titans and they have the power to do all that shit. And they really look at scum because they took over the world at one point.
Right.
But because of that, and that's why everybody's scared of them and everybody treats them like shit. And I was like, okay, I understand that angle. That's the whole X-Men angle, where everybody's hating the mutants because of what they are and all that shit. It's that. And then I realized Marley has 7 of the 9 Titan powers, just means Marley has people that can turn Titans too, which means they're not different than the Eldrians. Because after the first Ymir died, the Titan power split into 9 random people, and those people weren't related. Those people weren't by blood, but those people eventually came together to create the nation of Eldria or whatever. But my main point thing is just people like everybody else, and within those people, there were prominent families that carried on the 9 big whatevers, and one of them was the Rice family, who had the founding Titan and everything, and another prominent family, I don't know if they're one of the families or not, I'm guessing not, maybe they are, is the Ackermans, because they went to a little bit when Kenny and Levi were going through the whole shit, and they spent like a small scene talking about how Mikasa's Ackerman too, because Levi had like a short conversation with her, talking like, you're an Ackerman too, aren't you? And that bullshit. But there's importance to last name Ackerman. That's what I'm saying, that we don't necessarily know the full scale of.
And you think they will elaborate off the background of Ackerman?
I think Mikasa is going to end up being someone that's really important. Kind of in the same vein that Krista ended up being someone important.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's the only way I would say.
Because Mikasa has no purpose on Eren.
Yeah.
But we have to do is give that character purpose.
Makes sense.
We'll see, man. Either way, I'm extremely excited for season 4.
I'm so ready for my brain to start hurting again.
I think I'm gonna be so confused. I think Attack on Titan season 4 is gonna be an event. It's gonna be an event. It's gonna be a weekly event where everybody's like Game of Thrones type shit. Not the scale of Game of Thrones, because it's anime and they don't have as big as a mainstream draw as Game of fucking Thrones. But like to that form where the anime community is gonna be like, on Pez and Neo's waiting for the next week and then talking about it as if it's like a Game of Thrones event. Niggas gonna be excited for that shit. I'm excited for that shit. It's gonna be crazy.
Man, crazy is an understatement.
You wanna get into these sleepers?
Yeah, let's do that.
You got one ahead?
Man, I gotta go to the vote, man.
I got a sleeper for y'all. I'm gonna change it up a little bit. Man, everybody knows I've been talking about this for a little while. For my sleeper now, I'm going to suggest a manga for y'all. A little backstory on me. I mean, that's not really backstory, because most of y'all anime niggas, I assume, come from a similar place where you started off only really reading manga and never really watched any other anime besides what was on Toonami. It's like meaning that Yu Yu Hakusho and Inuyasha, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto, where like you didn't even know they're anime. I thought they were just cartoons. And I was a manga reader, like by heart. I read all of Bleach and never saw an episode of it. And I just finished a manga called Kengan Asura. It's a fighting manga, and the way this shit's set up is the biggest companies in the world, and they use similar to real life companies like Nintendo and Disney and Atari, Honda, Nike, shit like that. The big company, Fortune 500 companies or bigger companies that have influence on kind of the economic happenings of the world. These companies settle business disputes within each other by hiring fighters to fight in their behalf, and they put whatever fighter the company hires in not a ring. It's just whatever. It's underground. It's underground fighting, so it's whatever discrete location, and winner gets whatever the fuck they favored in the deal. And that's the whole Kengan system. The system's called Kengan, and these matches are called Kengan matches. And within this Kengan association, there's a top dog head honcho. He's the chairman of the Kengan Association, and he pretty much has the connections with the world powers. He has connections with the president of the United States, the prime minister of Britain, the leaders of all the bigger nations in the world. And you pretty much hold a lot of the power in the world, really, if you're chairman of the Kengan Association. And it gets to the point in the story where another member of the Kengan Association is the CEO of one of these companies. He wants that spot, and to get that spot, it's custom to hold a tournament where each company puts their fighters in a tournament, and winner gets that spot. And it's a pretty simple setup. But fucking son, this manga is, I'm not exaggerating, greatest manga I've ever read in my life, bro. It's so fucking hard. It's so hard. And I'm a combat sports fan, so I'm kind of already prone to shit like that, or to being susceptible for shit like that, because just the way they go about presenting these different styles of fighting and what happens when they meet. The whole dynamic, all of that shit, they really dive into it, and it's just so well done. It's so well done.
That's a different take on fighting, other than the usual "I gotta be the strongest fighter of all time" type shit.
It's more realistic.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because I'm a huge MMA fan. I follow MMA, and if you follow MMA, you know it's mixed martial arts, and all these people come from all types of different disciplines. Some people come from a big jiu-jitsu background, some come from a wrestling background, some come from an MMA background where they learn everything at the same time, and some come from like judo and all this different shit, sumo, all this different types of shit, and these styles come together, and you can see the pros and cons of them, and what happens and what styles work well and not with others, and you can see that in real life happen in MMA, and Kengan Asura just displays that so fucking well, so well. I recommend it to all of y'all, bro. It's manga, it's a little different than what we do usually in the sleepers, but it's great.
Hey, bro, they just dropped the gem on you.
Kengan Asura.
Alright. For my sleeper, I'm gonna go with Zettai, Caring Children, The Unlimited. This anime is about Yespers. So
Yespers? Like mob Yespers?
Hey. It's funny you bring Mob up because I think I told you Mob might have got a couple of influences from this. The top Esper in the world. His name is Koyosuke. He starts off as a kid, realizing his powers and everything like that, and he eventually joins the military at the time, and then later as time progresses, the world progresses that hatred for Yespers, so he gets betrayed by his commander, and then after that point it's fuck humans, like if you're normal, if you're not a Jesper, I have no emotions for you, fuck you type shit, and he puts himself in a position to where he lives hundreds of years or decades. I'm not sure how long he lived, but it's, he died a long time ago apparently. So he puts himself in a position to save other Yespers and keep them from being harmed by humans, and he starts an organization to do that with other Yespers, and by all means necessary he goes by his methods alone, like, and the power scale is unparalleled. Like, there's no one who can touch this cat. Like, it's mob. You can tell the mob psycho influences, but this one came out before mob. I'm not for sure how earlier, but it's definitely a good peep if you like spirits and the whole ESP shit.
All that shit. Give a name again.
Zettai. Caring Children, The Unlimited.
Children, The Unlimited. You can probably actually just Google Children Unlimited, and if you see Japanese words in front of that, it's probably it. It's probably it. You watch it. If it's bad, not it. If it's good, it's probably it.
Probably it.
That's probably it. You're probably on the right one then. The Attack on Titan, man. Great fucking show. I'm trying to think what will be next. Next for the Red Ribbon Army will probably either be my solo recap on all fucking almost 1,000 episodes on One Piece, or if you wait till the end of this anime season, you guys might get an episode on Vinland Saga or Fire Force. Two great animes that are going on currently.
Fire, no pun intended.
Fire, no pun intended. Oh shit, 3 that are going on now with fucking KNY, dog. Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer is hard. Like,
that might come next too,
that
man.
3-piece right there, man. Hey, I ain't
next generation, baby. Next generation anime.
Like, dude, that shit is gonna be stupid.
It's gonna be stupid, bro.
I got jitters over
this shit.
Thinking.
It's ready. Especially Vinland Saga. It was made by the same people who makes fucking Attack on Titan.
Man.
They animated it great. The story's great. It's amazing. You should watch it. Honestly, bro. But until then, man, I'll see you guys next time, bro.
Signing out, dog.
Salute.